Okay, hello little people. Welcome back to another video. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if there's one thing I love in this world, it's when an influencer is like, you know what, boys and girls? Yes, I am actually a terrible person. Groundbreaking news, I know, but you know what? I'm not going to change. And in fact, I'm going to lie to the faces of everybody on the internet and also have the guts to take shots at other influencers who have honestly not really done anything that bad. And of course, yes, I'm speaking about everybody's favourite beauty guru. Okay, so here's the thing. James has been questionable to young people in the past, but this is not an example of him doing something wrong. Liked by James Charles. You know what, boys and girls? I love it. I absolutely love it. Because for one, James is pretty much admitting to, yes, he is a ding, ding, ding. I mean, we didn't really need anybody to kind of tell us that. We already knew that. But yes, things are heating up. Y'all cheering and clapping at Check's Notes Jeffree Star and Check's Notes James Charles calling out Mikayla for Check's Notes once more, wearing falsies and lying about mascara. Two of these people have done much more worse, but I digress. And yes, my friends, I understand at this point you're probably deeply confused. But honestly, so am I. Because I'm getting sick. I am getting sick and tired of how the internet, in particular, how TikTok works. Because it does just seem that people have short-term memory loss. What's going on? Because yes, today we're talking about James, and mainly because, you know, things have gotten worse. He's not really changed, and also, he's pretty much just lying to the faces of everybody at this point, going against what he's actually said in the past, and I'm just also confused to how this man is actually getting more popular, and if anything more celebrated than he has been in the last 2 years. What is going on? But firstly, I should probably introduce this video and say, hello, welcome back to another video. And yes, if you didn't know, it's my birthday. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I think I do actually have the yearly license of guilt-tripping you all into not only liking this video and commenting happy birthday, but also subscribing. Because today, we're going to be doing a more rant-style, old-fashioned one-camera angle video of where we just go in and speak about some stuff. So firstly, subscribe. Secondly, happy birthday in the comments. And if you don't do that, well, ladies and gentlemen, I am not only calling the police on James Charles, but I am also calling the police on you. But yes, Jimbo Charlie. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, it does just kind of feel like every 6 months we make a video saying, I cannot believe that James Charles is getting away with it yet again. And getting away with what, some of you may ask? Well, this.
In case anybody isn't aware of what's going on, within the past couple of weeks, 2 different people, both under the age of 18, have recently come forward saying that they had inappropriate messages with me on social media. One of them being from last year and one of them being from more recent. In both of these cases, I added these people on Snapchat, asked how old they were right away, was told that they were 18, believed them, engaged in a flirty conversation, and then later on found out that they were actually 16.
Jimbo, yeah. It always is a bit shocking when the 16-year-old who's got 16 in his TikTok bio turns out to be 16.
All these people you've served, whatever bloody ID they used, are underage!
Now, usually in these sorts of situations that James was in, it does typically lead to, you know, the person losing popularity and, you know, in some cases, or jail time. And just in general, if that doesn't happen, them not really being a popular old bean on the internet anymore. But as you can imagine, no, not in this scenario. Because big update, James now has 37 million followers on TikTok. What is going on that app? What are you doing? What, like, I might sound like a bitter old jealous man right now, and maybe I am. Maybe I am. Subscribe, please. But I'm mainly not bitter because, oh, I want 37 million subs. I'd love 37 million subs. But it's just the fact that this man has done so much stuff. And recently, I'm not just going back on speaking about the past. I'm speaking about the last month. It does seem that, as I said, over the last month, James has once again shown his true colours to us, that he has not only not changed, but if anything, has just gotten completely and utterly worse with absolutely everything. So today, my friends, we're going to go on a deep dive into everything this man has recently been exposed for, some controversial opinions I have on some of these things, and just in general, why I am so sick and tired of the internet at this point. I feel like I am actually being, like emotionally abused. I can't lie. The whole thing is a circle. 1 minute people hate somebody, then they love them, then they hate them. And it's like, boys, can we just just leave the past in the past? I get it. You've got nostalgia for your favorite content creators. But when those content creators are Jeffree Star and James Charles, well, Or maybe you need to find a different YouTuber. Haha, this is definitely me when the straight guy says that they don't want to be in the lucrative role that is the position of being my boyfriend. They're a bit weird, aren't they? Okay, basically, the first thing we're going to go through today is old news. Because yes, earlier this month, James Charles was exposed for flirting with a straight guy. Oh no. I don't understand what's with the internet. They seem to think that gay people are like supervillains. We don't just shoot our lasers and go, ooh, you know, gay. We don't do that. It's not like I'm trying to catch a Spider-Man. I'm not Wilson Fisk banging my table, Joe Jana Jameson being like, I need the straight guy. I'm not doing that. And I think there is this weird perception with straight people getting their minds warped by the gays. If you are straight and speaking flirtatiously to a gay man, well, you might be the gay man. But yes, this was a situation where a lot of people were up in arms, getting upset with Jimbo Charles, because yes, there were some things here involving him seemingly trying to once again convert a straight guy into being gay. And to be honest with you, I really don't think this whole situation was criminal for the reasons people were saying it was criminal. And yeah, some things in this, like the DMs are a little bit, well, horrific.
I don't like it very much.
And people may say, well, it's not technically illegal, is it? And I absolutely love that. It seems whenever something happens on the internet now, if it wasn't like a child law that was broken, everyone's like, well, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, to be fair, the DMs aren't that big of a deal. I'm just saying they are horrifically cringe. And it seems that nowadays we can't laugh at anything unless it's an actual crime, which honestly sounds a bit silly. We shouldn't be laughing at Yes, these DMs, a lot of people are angry and mad because I can't believe it. James is doing it again. He's converting straight people into the gay ideology. It's silly. It is silly, but there are some things here that I need to discuss first. Firstly, not only were these DMs, you know, two guys having a consensual conversation where the straight guy is clearly entertaining it. He is heart messaging. The bloke does not need to reply. I will come to James's defense this one time and say, bloody hell, people, is it really that deep on this aspect? But again, we then need to move it into the more problematic angles of these DMs because there are issues here which do show that this guy hasn't changed whatsoever, but I don't think a lot of people are necessarily focusing on the main thing. It's just people are kind of worried that the gays are converting everybody. Don't worry, boys and girls, we certainly aren't doing that. But yes, I think a big issue with these DMs is the fact that in the past, James has apologized for using Instagram as a dating app.
I had the mentality that I could reach out to literally anybody and use my Explore page and For You page as a dating app, and eventually I would just happen to find the right person, but that's just not how dating works, literally at all. It's gross, it's weird, and it's desperation.
Now, yeah, with the situation recently, it's not exactly in a criminal context, and as I said, I think for the most part, it's really not anything as bad as this guy's done, but there are issues here. When you look at the DMs, of course, he is using his money, his power, and his status to get what he wants, which James literally has said in the past he's not going to do anymore because it's gross and weird. And yeah, again, it's not criminal, but the things always need to be criminal for us to be like, oh, yeah, this is probably a little bit bad. But my problem is James's actual response to these tweets, because as you saw previously, James was liking a lot of tweets defending him, even the ones where they call him a predator. This guy clearly realizes that yes, he has done something horrific, but now he's shamelessly wearing it as like a badge of honor to get out of jail free in other situations. Like, yes, he's a predator, but no, I honestly, as much as I think, yeah, the situation there wasn't that bad, I even feel a bit weird defending it, because let's be real, this guy really shouldn't be that popular to have this much of a platform where he can even get in the position to do these things. After everything, I'm still shocked that, as I said, this guy has 30+ million followers. It's absolutely insane to me. And people can say, well, you grow and change, and yeah, you do, but it wasn't like James, you know, had a few dodgy tweets or a dodgy opinion back in the day or something like that. It wasn't that. It was, no, this guy was messaging teenagers. He was doing that not that long ago, recently. And in that video, he defends himself by saying that he's not going to do it, as I showed you previously, but it's clear the guy is still using his social status, his wealth, and his power power as a way to get what he wants, and that obviously is a very bad thing. I spoke in my recent video about Snapshot Eye and how he pretty much does the exact same thing, and regardless of if you're gay or straight, it's a bad thing to do. I don't think people should be using their positions of power to get what they want. People like to say, well, should influencers only be able to date influencers? No, you can date somebody and have a position of power, but it's whether you take the choice to act on that position of power and actually abuse the position you're in, which in my opinion, James is clearly doing here.
I had the mentality that I could reach out to literally anybody and use my Explore page and For You page as a dating app.
And yes, my friends, I know, in the context of that DM, he was speaking about him messaging kids, which is... it's hilarious to say, because it's like, I've got to go on this weird, I guess, like, excuse or defense of what I'm about to say, but it's like, the fact that he's even managed to move away from that and just continue is absolutely insane. But with what he just said there, I think given his history of, let's be real, DMing kids, I don't think that he should even have the access to, dating via Instagram. I think meeting people on Instagram is fine, but when you've got the history that this bloke has, you should probably revoke that sort of access and privilege. I think once you've got that history, maybe just don't do that. Like, James, if there was going to be a way to show us you've changed, it would be doing the slightest and easiest thing of not using your position, wealth, and status and power to get what you want from fans and people that are out there that love you. But no, it's clear that he's very much not changed. And I understand that, yes, this is news, and the question is well, why am I even bringing this up? I'm like a month late to this. Well, let me be real. There's even more to this story. Because makeup, yes, I don't care about makeup. I'm sorry if you are coming here for like some groundbreaking take. You'll get something out of this, but I'm not going to go into the big depth of this scenario. But pretty much, an influencer out there called Mikayla was recently in a lot of controversy because she promoted a makeup brand involving mascara. But the problem is in this situation is she was promoting mascara whilst wearing false eyelashes. And honestly, it's a big deal. Sorry, it's a big deal.
A few more OG influencers have also come forward about Mikayla, like Alyssa Ashley and even James Charles.
Stuff like this is why people do not trust influencers. And it's so upsetting. Like, little moments like this are why influencers as a whole get a bad rap. More specifically, beauty influencers who do product reviews.
Who measures 16-year-olds who have 16 in their TikTok but... Sorry, what? Yeah, beauty drama. There is a reason I'm actually speaking about this, and it does, again, involve James Charles. And it's just even more ridiculous, and once again, as I said, shows that this guy is really only getting worse. But firstly, going into the main story, as I said, Mikayla was recently called out for falsely advertising mascara as she was wearing false eyelashes in her advertisement. Oh my god, Mikayla, I trusted you! And you've let me down. Now, obviously, in the beauty community, this is a big deal because obviously false advertisement is annoying. When I, for example, get advertised something that I actually care about and it's a false advertisement, I would be mad. Say, for example, if a video game was promoted to me and, they put something in an advertisement which wasn't in the game, I'd be saying, well, why are you doing that? That's really, really rude. And basically, Mikayla was called out for doing that. But the problem is whilst I've got no quarrels with calling her out, she was called out by a few particular people, a few specific individuals who, yes, is not only Jeffree Star, yes, Jeffree paid $45,000 allegedly in hush money Star, and Jimbo messages 16-year-old Charles. They called this person out.
So this mascara has been causing quite a little bit of drama on social media today. Let's try it out. So this is the new L'Oreal Telescopic Lift Mascara, and I did receive this in PR, but unlike a lot of the other videos going up right now, I was not paid to talk about this. Let's try it out and see if the hype is actually as good as people are saying. Something tells me that it won't be. But I'm always down for a good mascara. So
2 seconds later.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I was a little bit skeptical about this mascara just because of some of the reviews that I have seen, but now I wish that I was getting paid for this review like everybody else, because I think it's actually pretty good. It did a nice job of lifting up the lashes. They look nice and black. It's, a good quality mascara that I would probably reach for again, and no Ardell Wispies necessary.
Ooh, James, you shady girl. Oh god. The shade. Yeah, the shade. What is it? The shade that James is casting over the allegations that surround him? Ahahaha. I love the shade. Now, to you, what James said in that clip may not mean absolutely anything, and honestly may seem pretty insignificant. Yeah, I can understand that, but this is the beauty community. We're speaking about people. There was like nuclear warfare in terms of like videography when it came to selling vitamin gummies. The world blew up. It exploded because Tiny Westbrook's like got upset that James Charles was selling vitamin gummies that weren't her brand. They went to war. So this, my friends, is pretty much like, I don't know, the Pearl Harbor of the beauty community. Can I even say that? Basically, it's a big deal. People saw this and saw what Jeffree was saying in his clips and said, wow, this is big old shade. And the community right now is a little bit of a war zone. But as I said, well, I'm a bit confused. Because after everything that James and Jeffree has done, they're the ones who are now being celebrated. Like, they are being celebrated in their comment sections for calling out somebody for falsely advertising something. I'm confused. Look at these comments. Not only are they loving these TikToks from James, but they're also just forgetting everything, in my opinion. Because they're calling somebody out for their moral judgment in a situation where they decided to falsely advertise something. They're saying, wow, that's a really bad thing to do. You shouldn't do that. They're saying that because it's morally wrong. But then they go to James Charles as the beacon of moral judgment, and they're like, sister slay, sister get in jail. What are you doing? We shouldn't be relying on this bloke to do this. I'm so sorry. I'm not sorry, actually. I'm not sorry at all. But come on, boys. Look at these comments. How are you all saying this and celebrating this and making this guy even more popular when he has done stuff a million times worse than what this Mikayla person has done? I am not saying that you can't criticize Mikayla. I understand that false advertisement is bad. But when we put a nonce on a pedestal, it's really not a good thing. And I feel a bit silly for even having to say that. And also, as I said again, it's not just him. It's also Jeffree Star, who does have this leaked document where it allegedly shows him paying $45K in hush money. Bank of America's on the check, ladies and gentlemen. You can see what it says there about, stopping an article coming out. Lots of money involved. It's very, very suspicious. What is going on? Why are these people up in arms and celebrating? Like, oh my God, it's like 2019 again. I get it. You're nostalgic. But as I said earlier in this video, just find somebody else to review the makeup. There are other people out there than Jeffree Star. And I understand you may say, wow, I get what you're saying, Fraser, but he's just really good at reviewing makeup. Well, you know what? There was a certain bloke from Australia in the 1930s that was really good at art. There are a lot of horrific people out there that have done awful things. They are just irredeemable to the point of these people awful, completely awful. But, they may have drew a nice picture in their time or made a nice YouTube video. And I understand I shouldn't compare, but you get what I'm saying here. What these people have done is clearly really bad. And I don't understand how they are not only taking shots, having the audacity, the actual audacity to do this, but also get celebrated for it. I thought when I heard James Charles and Jeffree Star were back and taking shots, maybe people would be like, well, guys, you have done so much worse stuff. You're not one to talk here. But yeah, no, clearly not. Because TikTok is full of mentally ill folk. I just said folk. I shouldn't say that word. I'm British. That's like an American word, isn't it? But my friends, in regards to James, it doesn't only end there. And yeah, maybe to you, that part wasn't that significant of him taking shade at people. Well, let's look at how James has recently been responding to criticism. Because of course, yes, as I said earlier, he was involved in a situation where people were calling him out for hypnotizing straight people. But James has, in the last month, since he got defended quite a lot in that situation, actually, he has been liking lots of tweets, basically about the criticism towards him, where he seemingly is just shading anybody that just doesn't like him, but also outright denying things that he has even said in his past. I'm not even lying. Just look at this insane tweet thread and just look at the fact that James liked this. Isn't this the same James who talked to young boys? Well, James shouldn't deny this, Because James, well, you literally admitted it, my friend, in a YouTube video called Taking Accountability, which has now been deleted, so it's not really accountability, is it? But he admitted to it, as we saw earlier in this video. But then you look at the reply, saying literally false rumor, everyone played up. People forget how young James is and was at the time, but yes, someone lied about their age for clout, and the internet continued to attack. Wow, I love victim blaming in the morning, don't you, ladies and gentlemen? But yes, James liked this tweet, and I'm thinking, James, you admitted these things.
In case anybody isn't aware of what's going on, within the past couple of weeks, two different people, both under the age of 18, have recently come forward saying that they had inappropriate messages with me on social media. One of them being from last year and one of them being from more recent. In both of these cases, I added these people on Snapchat, asked how old they were right away, was told that they were 18, believed them, engaged in a flirty conversation, and then later on found out that they were actually 16.
And I don't understand how he's still trying to push this rhetoric of, they lied about their age. James, it's in their TikTok bio, my friend. It was right there. But also, even if they didn't lie about their age, I think you, as a content creator with 10 plus million followers, should do the due diligence of actually doing your research into checking if these people are above the age of 18, not just DMing them on Snapchat being like, oh, are you above age 18? And if they say yes, you don't just take that. You've got to ask them for ID, mate. And you might say, Fraser, isn't that a little bit serious? Honestly, no, I don't. I seriously don't. It should be taken like the alcohol system in the UK. If you don't look above the age of 25, whack out that ID, mate. If you've got followers and all that big platform, I mean, anyone really. But if you're not confident in knowing their age, and trust me, I remember covering this situation, those 16-year-olds looks like 16-year-olds. Shock. And they also had it in their bio. But you know what I'm saying here. James, you should have done your due diligence to do the research into actually finding the truth behind these things. But you didn't. And it wasn't just in one situation, it was in multiple situations. And yes, people did lie out there about James Charles. But my friends, if you commit a murder, but then get falsely accused of 2 other murders, you still committed a murder. So yes, not only is he going back on the things that he's actually said in his YouTube videos, which have now been conveniently deleted, but he's also, yes, shading the people that criticize him and also clearly trying to pretend that everything was a false rumor. But then they go on to say what actually happened. How could it be a false rumor if you then say it actually happened? It wasn't a false rumor. The guy you are defending literally admitted to these things. But no, he's obviously going to try and manipulate people a couple years down the line. Mate, we're as much as you may think TikTok's stupid, we're not stupid. We don't forget this, mate. And I think it's hilarious that you are even trying to do this. Ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion to things, I genuinely don't understand how every 6 months this happens, but in the last month it's obviously only gotten 50 times worse. I really don't understand, firstly, how this guy now has like a friendship group of influencers who are willing to create content with him despite how this man uses his platform and still does use his platform to get what he wants using his social status and power. I'm surprised that people would even want to be associated with that, but it's LA at the end of the day. These people are clout hungry demons. And I also wouldn't genuinely be surprised if we saw James, Jeffrey, and Shane Dawson in a room together in the future. These guys know, given everything that's happened in the last month, that they can pretty much do anything and get away with it. And I promise you, so many people would eat those 3 collabing up. They would love it because it's nostalgic and it makes it like a fun viewing for some people because it reminds them of the past. When honestly, it is very easy to gloss over things. But with what James and Jeffrey have done, I just simply cannot do that. To end this video, I'm going to say that yes, false advertisement is bad and I understand the right to criticize it and I understand why people are mad, but I will say, please make sure that you are celebrating the right people that criticize this person. I do not understand why the internet has randomly started to love Jeffree Star and love James Charles, but they apparently have. James Charles is not only using his massive platform as a dating app, but he's also using his money and status to get what he wants. He's going back on his own accountability, and just in general, this man is clearly lying to the faces of the public. With liking tweets like this and so many others, you can go look yourself, a lot of them are still liked even though he was criticized. It shows me that he's not changed and he's only getting worse. And also, with Jeffree Star, I don't really think I need to go even further into that. I mean, if this video gets 10,000 likes, I'll do a proper video on it, but if it doesn't, I've got a second channel video on it right there. But alas, ladies and gentlemen, that is the ending of this video. I just thought I'd do a good old-fashioned bit of a rant video, to be honest generous because I'm just a little bit confused. But yeah, thanks for watching. It is my birthday. So honestly, I'm going to go bowling now. So yeah, see you later. Peace out and have a cracking day. Bye-bye. Oh yeah, like the video too. I don't know if I said that. And also, Buddy's podcast, description. I Number Live, description. I Number Live is my second channel. Go watch it all. It's up next. Please. Please. Thanks. It's my birthday. Give me a break. Subscribe to everything that I own. Thanks.